Have you ever been stung by an ant? One ant bite probably won't hurt most of us very much. But what if it was 60,000 ant bites in one day? There's a popular factoid that goes around that says the average person has around 60,000 thoughts per day. I haven't been able to document that. It's a little hard to define exactly what a thought is and when one would stop and another would start. But I think most of us would agree there's a lot going on in there, and we have a lot of thoughts constantly coming our way. What if many of those thoughts stung us, hurt us? Well, the reality is they probably do. Dr. Amen talks about ants or automatic negative thoughts. And those come at us, and sometimes we keep bringing them to ourselves in ways that hurt us. Now, have you noticed anything strange about your video? I hope you haven't tried to adjust anything because that's my fault. Let me see if I can't make that better for you. Things look better now, right? We had a filter on, which brings us to today's ant. It's the idea of having a mental filter. It's seeing things through colored vision or colored perspective so that we're not really seeing it quite the way it really is. In that, we do a couple of things that the experts talk about. One is we focus only on the negative. You turn in a project, you do a presentation, you get a lot of positive compliments and praise, but what we'll tend to do if we're not careful is to focus on the one part of it that didn't go well. Maybe a typo in the report, or maybe a word you stumbled over in the presentation. And even though people may come by and tell you you did a great job with it, what we often do is focus on that one negative thing and replay that thought over and over and over again so that that one little ant just keeps biting us. Or maybe we discount the positive, another way of filtering things mentally. Somebody comes by and says, "Hey, you look great today. That shirt looks good on you." And we think or say things like, "Oh, this little thing, I was in a hurry. I just grabbed the first thing I could." Or, "Well, it kind of fits a little snug." People are trying to give us something positive, and we filter that out and discount it. Oh, they didn't really mean it. They're just being polite. They just felt obligated to say that. Whatever it is we tell ourselves, we are shutting down things that might benefit us and might help us. And so sometimes we need to be careful that we don't filter things through that negative filter, that we don't discount the positive things. Proverbs 16 and verse 24 says, "Gracious words are a honeycomb, sweet to the soul and healing to the bones." I like sweet things. Gracious words are sweet to the soul. They're healing to the bones. But you have to let them in. If people offer us gracious words and we shut them out, filter them out with that dark filter, that dark lens. See, I'm going to focus later on that one negative thing. If we do that, we don't get a chance to enjoy the sweetness or the healing that can come from words from ourselves or from other people's. Other people. Here's my suggestion for today. Don't let the ants bite your brain. Particularly, don't let one or two little negative things stay with you all day. Focus those on the positive things. Filter those things out instead of filtering out the positive. There is, of course, a virus that's running rampant. It's highly contagious, and we're doing everything we can to try to prevent it from spreading. Let's flip that over. Let's let gracious words go viral today. Spread them, infect people with them. As you do that, be willing to let them in. Don't put on your mask. Don't put up your shield. Accept the gracious words. If nobody else offers them to you, turn to your scriptures. Read Ephesians 1. Read how you're chosen and how you're redeemed and all the positive things that God has to say about you. Let this be a day when you filter out the negative instead of filtering out the positive. I hope you have a great day. May God bless.